Say good morning to Jon Heyman, leading the league in information today. And with information, John, as we say good morning on a group of still available veteran free agent players, let's dig right in on the guy that's at the top of the list. Jackie Bradley Jr. is somehow still available. Where is he going to sign?
Yeah, that's a shocker. We have three guys left, all exactly 30 years old, all very good players. So it is surprising that Jackie Bradley's still out there. He's been linked to about 7 teams at this point. His old team, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Astros, the Giants, the Jays, the Braves, and the Angels. So any one of those teams is possible. Camps are open, as you mentioned, Matt. I do think he probably will sign this week, probably. Not going to say definitely, but probably. We had a ton of free agents coming into the month, and we're down to 3 really good ones in their prime and some other former stars.
Was the Mets? That's where I thought he was going to end up.
Yeah,
They've got 2 contingency plans in center field now. Where for you for Jackie?
No, I thought the Mets was a pretty good fit as well. It's going to be interesting. Maybe Boston comes back into the picture because of Alex Cora and what they're doing. I don't know. But, John, you know, the interesting thing here was I'd heard that the Mets might have had even more interest if there was a National League DH. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. If there's a DH, he's in center. They move Nimmo over to left field, Dom Smith to first base, and you put Alonso as the DH, and they're in great shape there. I still think that they're kind of looking at it maybe from a distance to a degree. Interesting because they've signed Pilar, they've signed Almora. You know, they have 2 extra center fielders now who are pretty good players. So it's a little surprising, but I haven't crossed them off to this point. Boston, to me, still makes the most sense. They clearly have the need, but the Angels are interesting. We'll see what they can do. They might have to trade an outfielder to do that. Same with the Jays. Obviously, they've already added Springer. Could they possibly add JBJ and then trade an outfielder? I'm not going to rule it out at this point.
The Angels are interesting on a lot of fronts, perennially in search of quality starting pitching on the free agent market. Harold's been beating this drum all winter. Jake Odorizzi to the Angels. Is that the leading candidate right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure they're their leading candidate. They clearly are in the picture. The Angels have been interested in Odorizzi throughout this winter. They're still in there. They've added Cobb. They've added Quintana. But obviously with that great offense, to give themselves a chance to win, though, they probably need to bulk up the rotation a little bit. So they're clearly in there. Here's a new team, though, the Phillies. I've heard the Phillies are in contact with Odorizzi.
Wow.
Now, obviously, they've got Dave Dombrowski. He's done a great job already. And you get Dave Dombrowski, you're playing to win. So they are clearly playing to win. Obviously, they brought back Real Muto. They brought back Didi. And they've added some pretty good relievers, which is where they needed it. Obviously, they've got Kinsler. They've got Watson. The bullpen looks better. And my understanding is now they are in touch with Jake Odorizzi, and that is a possibility. The other team I've heard potentially is his hometown Cardinals. We shall see. But I do think the Phillies are a possibility at this point.
That makes a lot of sense. There's a need there for sure. I would also, I don't think I would count the Phillies out in the center field market either. I mean, they're going into camp right now with Roman Quinn, Adam Hazley, Scott Kingery could play center certainly too, but none of those guys is Jackie Bradley Jr. I just don't know how much more money they're willing to spend on this year's market. Finally, we have not seen Yaciel Puig in a Major League uniform in a little while.
No.
He's out there. He wants to play. Where is he going to play?
Yeah, this is a mystery to this point. Earlier, we'd heard potentially the Marlins, Royals, or Yankees could be interested, but my understanding is none of those teams have really been in on Puig. I think he's lowered his sights now. He's willing to do a minor league deal, an NRI deal. He's only 30 years old still. He's got an OPS plus of 122 for his career, 109 in 2019. So he was pretty good in 2019. He did miss last year. He had signed with the Braves, $3 million from my understanding. And then he did come up with COVID positive, and he had chances with the Orioles and the Marlins, didn't take those deals. I expect him to land somewhere, but I think the issue, of course, is the personality. Obviously, Jackie Bradley Jr., Jake Odorizzi, fantastic for clubhouses. Teams would welcome them. The question on Puig is he an overwhelming personality for what is, he's a good player now, but not a star player?